Yes, I think I agree with you about the
I
protein.
probably didn't notice when I was sleeping.
Yes, I would agree with you by sharing about protein. I'm a tennis player at my age. So I'm taking protein before and after the game. Okay, so I just want to ask you a little bit here on overactive immune system, right? So we say that transfer factors in overactive will be suppressing healthy cell and also suppressing cytokines. Uh, I know this is a bit scientific, but if you can explain in general layman term that everything can because we know the transmitter response, remember all this, can explain a bit more. Because maybe after the all this vaccine, everything we have a lot of funny kind of diseases, especially among children. So because I discovered one case, suddenly one kid, the one and a half, the platelets only three instead of 140,000. So this is the kind of things that we come across a lot of things every day, especially children. Kalau if it is adult is okay, we can whatever we just overload, we just TM. So thank you so much.
Awesome. So let me see whether I understand your question. So you are saying, so give you example, or just further elaborate on how or why, how the cytokines, I guess, too much overactivated T cells, and how transfer factor can suppress that. And why is that beneficial? Yeah. That correct? Okay. Right. So just try to make sure I'm not sleeping. Okay. All right. So that's a great question. Those are multiple questions. Those are great questions. I guess it's not very easy or not very straightforward to understand for layman term. So part of the reason was about how consumers are educated over the past 20 or 30 years. So whenever people talk about it, if you talk to anyone on the street, if you ask them what do they think about the immune system, they always probably tell you, oh yeah, I want to boost my immune system, right? The stronger, the better. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just not the right way to do that. So there's there's such a thing really too much of a good thing. Right? So the reason why we want to emphasize that is there are several reasons. One is that in whole life we want to make sure we are delivering the right and the accurate message to every single person. We want to make sure we're the immune science leader in the industry. So that's why we try to do the education work to our affiliates, to our customers. So the reason we want to do that because we have seen studies showing those exactly what we talk. We also done our own studies to show that. So just give you one example. So we actually intentionally activate T cells by a certain, for example, there's a certain chemicals called PHL, FPS. You don't have to remember those. But those are the so-called immune stimulator that if you give your cells, give your body 2 months, that actually cause autoimmune disease. That's because it's overactive your immune system. So what we did was we overactive those immune cells with those chemicals, and then we treat them with transfer factor and see what would happen to those cytokines. Some of the cytokines we measured, some of the T helper cells we measured. And what we saw was that although those chemicals actually active those cytokines too much, however, when we treated them with transfer factor, we were able to bring down that very significantly, to bring down them to the normal level they should be. So those are one example of and why we talk about this and what we saw from those studies. So there have been, a lot of other studies done by other research groups, other universities. I don't want to, share too much here, but the point is that, what we're telling you guys is based on the science, based on the data. So that's why I said in the beginning, right? So the boosting immune system is nothing wrong. It's just not the best, not the correct or not the accurate way to do. There's such as so-called critical point, you might probably get too much of that. Again, we cannot talk about disease, autoimmune disease, but autoimmune disease, a lot of people already know that. Oftentimes it's because overactivity in the immune system that the immune system cannot recognize the difference between the good cells and the bad cells. So it can attack, not only attack your bad cells, but also your good cells. So does that answer your question, hopefully?
Yeah. I hope you can get the reference for the research papers on that. Yeah, any research.
Yeah,
Maybe I can do it.
Yeah, so if you want to,
Yeah.
okay, are we gonna share the slide with those? Okay, yeah. So if you want to go to the website, you go to forlab.com and search studies and publications, you will find those studies we published. We didn't host the publications from other research groups. So if you want some specific study, feel free to send an email to us. We're happy to have us do that.
Okay, thank you. Any other question? Yes?
I don't know. I think EF works very well for you. Although 3 days I haven't sleep, you are still so alert that you will share something very informative to us. My question is that, as you mentioned to us, Paul have done a lot of research on the sequencing, the new discoveries, and that. How does it help us by knowing more of the sequence?
All right. So, if my wife is here, he's probably laughing because I do sleepwalk. So, try to understand your question. So, you said, what's the importance of,
By knowing the sequencing more.
how does that impact us?
Yeah, how does it help Paul research company and how?
That's a great question. So, there are a lot of things I can imagine that going to help us. But, we haven't done a lot of that yet. So we're still in the early exploration phase. For example, we recently analyzed some of the transfer factor sample. We found that there are some of the protein sequence not only. So try to be careful here because I don't want to reveal too much. So not only
We're all family here.
it's not that I don't trust you guys. I don't trust myself. I'm not sure whether I'm sleepwalking now. So, but anyway, so some of the sequences are very similar. Might be surprising you. So those are from animal source, right? Those sequences are very similar to plant source protein. So very much sense. So that's actually why you probably heard about this. We're talking about plant-based or plant source transfer factor. So that's one way. I mean, this is just one example. There are many, many other possibilities. One thing is that, after, for example, if we know details about a specific sequence of the most important component of transfer factor, for example, then we can further enrich that and try to further improve that. Make it much more potent or much more powerful. Or maybe we can specifically design certain component with a certain specific sequence for specific benefit. So there are many, many possibilities, I would say. Plant-based is just one example. Hopefully I wasn't revealing too much. Okay. What I said is stay in this room, all right?
Dr. Hans, I have a few questions. First one is, yes, we know that pharmaceutical science is also the science of longevity or restoration biological science. How does pharmaceutical help in longevity? I want to know. Maybe share first.
That's a great question again. I mean, those questions are all great ones. Yes, I can share a little bit. Longevity, I mean, there's no secret, right? Longevity, everyone wants to live longer and healthier. Nothing wrong with that. So we have been always doing a lot of new research and development, and longevity is one of them actually. No surprise. If you look into our ASB member, some of them, at least I remember, at least two of them are, their research field is related to healthy aging and longevity. So we constantly talk about those topics, and we read articles. We are planning to do our own research in developing research in this area. It's basically about how transfer factor can help your immune, help your longevity. One thing I want to just one area. Again, this is about educating to the public, educating to our families. Because for I've always tried to stay ahead of the industry, stay ahead of the field in the immune science. So one thing, whenever we're talking about immunity and healthy aging, a lot of people didn't realize was that when people become older and older, especially into their 60s or 70s or 80s, so not only their cells become like age, but also there's such a term called immunosenescence. So again, it's a technical term, but it means your immune cells become age as well. So not only your cells age, immune cells age, what does that do to your immune system was that your immune cells are not responding in the way that they should be. So there's not a lot you can do around that. So that's one area where we're looking to. We try to see what we can do, what we can use for like transfer factor or other technologies so we can help the age immune cells so they can become like a normal functional immune cells, like in the younger adults, those things. So yeah, that's one area. So again, there are a lot of other things we are also looking to about how this product can help people's healthy aging and longevity. Maybe in the coming 2 or 3 years, we'll launch a few products about those. So we're always working on that.
Is it in the pipeline?
It's always in pipeline.
Okay, my next question is, how is transfer factor different from stem cell?
From stem cell. Okay. Does everyone know what a stem cell is? Oh, okay. Awesome. Okay, so I don't have to explain that. So they're totally different. So stem cells are cells, right? They're like cells that are able to develop and different into specific type of cells. So this is very popular in the hot area, especially in the research field. Specifically on the so-called regenerative medicine. So it means if you lost something, you can use certain type of stem cells to grow back. Like even certain organ, like your ear, you probably heard of this from years. That's a wonderful area. Transfer factor is very different than that. So transfer factor is not a cell. Transfer factor is not amino acid. Transfer factor is not mineral. It's not a vitamin. It's not an herbal botanic. It's bioactive protein and peptides. So it's not immunoglobulins. So they are much smaller than those antibodies. Those are very unique. So based on many years of study and research, we have shown that we talk about this briefly. It's really working in a very fundamental levels that across different species. At least based on what we learned so far. Now I'm sharing that we found those sequences are very similar not only between those animal species but also across plants. So that's really something very very interesting to us.
I just want to, we have many dengue cases for superbikes, so we have dengue fever and all this. And the platelets count go to a very low level, right? So whenever they take transfer factor or juice, which has got transfer factor, it boosts up the platelets count. So we always say transfer factor is bottle, stem cell in a bottle. That means we can actually regenerate the platelets count, boost up to the normal level, right? So how do you explain that?
I'm pretending I understand your question. That sounds a very challenging question. So I'll try to make sure I understand. As you are saying, you heard a lot of people always compare stem cell technology and the transfer factor. And they probably go into argument that they think, oh, this one is better, that one is better. Right? So if I were in that position, I would say they're very, first, they're very different. So there are definitely places for both. Stem cells, again, whole life is not in the stem cell business yet. I'm not saying you will never in this business, but at least based on our R&D effort, we do not use stem cells. That's different technology. There are a lot of things that stem cells that can do that transfer factor cannot do. Just like regrowing an organ, regrowing those tissue, those something I don't think the transfer factor can do. At least based on what we know so far. So maybe that's something transfer factor can do in the future if we for the research and development and try to explore that. But based on current knowledge, we are not able to do that. However, transfer factor doing something very unique, as we talked earlier, is specifically work on your immune system, not just simply boost your immune system, but educate your immune system. Right? Respond remember this mental health crisis. That's just something unique. That is nothing stem cell can do about this. So, each of them is very unique, very helpful, very useful technology. It's just very unique, very different.
Last question.
Question from Dr. Tang.
Uh, Dr. Han, throughout the years as a scientist, do you come across any product that is able to balance the immune system, the overactive immune system?
So we just in the late part always what? Always activate
Balance. That can balance back the immune system. That means when you have a condition of overactive immune system, your research as scientist, any product in the world besides transfer factor that you come across.
No. That's my short answer. I haven't seen it. Maybe there's something out there, but I haven't seen it. I haven't heard. Especially because, as I said earlier, whenever other companies talk about the immune system, they always talk about boost the immune system. They're at least, of course, their mentality was not there yet. The understanding level was far behind what full life was doing. And so that's one thing that is totally mind blowing to me when I first got to know full life in such details, especially about general format. We will talk about not only boost and support your immune system, but actually really educate your immune system to be within that right range, that optimal level. I haven't.
Okay, we have one last question here. If you have more questions, don't worry. We will still answer your question, but maybe not tonight because of time. Okay, please channel your questions to me. Okay, and we will get the questions to you within a week. Okay, because we know you came here with questions, you want to answer, and those questions are important to you. So we will still answer all questions. There's one last question from this gentleman.
Good evening, Doctor. Just like, say for example, you're taking transport factor and trifactor. Is it better to open the capsule, put it under your powder, or is it just swallow it and goes right into your stomach? Which is faster?
Does your wife have a problem with any of those?
Oh, sorry?
As long as whatever works best for you.
But I heard from another doctor, if you place it under the powder, the absorption is faster. Is it true?
Yes. So you're seeing if you break it up, put it
Yeah,
down.
if you take a capsule, break it up, put it under your tongue,
Uh-huh.
or swallow it, goes into your stomach. Which is faster for the blood to absorb?
That's a good question. I don't think if you ask me, my first impression was that it's probably breaking. That's going to be faster. Because you don't have to digest and break down the capsule in your gut, right? You literally physically breaking. But whether that that time difference is typically 20 to 30 minutes. If you feel like that time difference is big enough for you, probably do this, break it down and just burn them up. But we haven't done a study to compare that specifically. But
But there's one doctor. Just break the capsule. Development is faster.
we can certainly do that. Yeah. So
I wish maybe that's
yeah, I always eat a capsule. I'm a capsule guy, so I don't mind take a few more capsules. It's easy. I don't want to break it down. Probably got very messy. Yeah, that's why I was trying to joke with you. I said whether your wife has a problem. Because whenever I break it down, it's so messy. My wife has a problem.
Oh, one question. Can we take advance and plus together? Will that have an effect?
Could you say that again?
Can we take an advance, trifecta, and plus together?
Yes.
No problem.
No problem. No.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your question.